So you're thinking of moving to Davis, California? Well, in this video, we're going to go over some things that you may want to consider prior to moving to Davis. And if you stick around to the end, I'll share with you a little hidden gem of Davis that not a lot of people know about. So let's do it. If this is your first time to the channel and you'd like to stay informed about the current market in the greater Sacramento area, then please subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications. My name is Carla and I'm with Gold Group Realty, and I would love to help you find your new home in the greater Sacramento area. So please reach out to me. My contact information is in the description below. So today we're going to go over some things that you may want to consider and may not have thought of prior to moving to Davis, California. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the weather. Well, the weather is beautiful. It's wonderful. That's if you don't mind winter time being anywhere. It's about 40 degrees, doesn't get much below that. And the summertime, it stays around the 90s and doesn't really get much over 100. That's great for a lot of people. But if you're moving from the Bay Area and you're used to the more temperate temperatures of like 55 to 75 degrees, well then that might be too cold for you in the winter and too hot for you in the summertime. And if you're moving from Arizona or Palm Desert, that might be really cold for you because you're not used to temperatures that cool. I remember a young lady working in Trader Joe's once, and she was just bundled up, and it was like in the middle of the heat of the summer. And it was like in the high 90s outside, and I said, "Are you cold?" She says, "I am freezing." She says, "I just moved here from Arizona and I am not used to this weather yet." And so, you know, weather is in the eye of the beholder. And if you can handle those temperatures, then you will love Davis. So the other thing to consider about moving to Davis is the amount of agriculture grown here. So we grow a lot of walnuts and almonds and corn and tomatoes and alfalfa and winter wheat. And if you're prone to allergies, then you may not like it here because there's just so much produce grown here and you might be miserable for several months out of the year. So something to consider prior to moving here. Another thing to consider prior to moving to Davis is Davis is in Northern California, and you might think, well, Northern California, moving to Northern California, and I get to go on these mountain hikes, and it's going to be so fun. Not in Davis. Davis is a 10-mile square of mostly flat land. It's great for bicyclists. Bicyclists do great here. There's a lot of bicyclists here. In fact, Davis is the first city to have bike lanes in the whole country. So it's great for bicyclists, but there are no mountainous nature hikes here. The best we have is like the UC Davis Arboretum Teaching Nursery, and there's a nice trail that goes around the 100-acre property, which goes through some oak trees and around a pond and nice green, beautiful grassy area. It's beautifully landscaped with flowers and everything, but it's not like a strenuous hike. It's just a long walk. So if you're looking for something more in the mountains, there's the Blue Ridge Trail. It's about 25 minutes away in winters. So a lot of people go there for their hikes, or there's, Lake Tahoe's a couple of hours away. There's hikes in Grass Valley, Nevada City, Truckee. So there's places you can go. It's just a drive. It's just not right there in Davis. The other thing to consider are the bugs. So every city has their bugs, right? When I went to Pennsylvania, I remember seeing the rhinoceros beetles. They are big bugs. They're ugly bugs, but they were harmless. They didn't hurt you. And they also had fireflies back there. So they're just like these slow, hovering little flies, just flying around you with their little lights on while you're sitting around the campfire with friends outside visiting. They don't bite or anything, but that was their bugs. Well, Davis has a bug, and it is the valley black gnat, and it comes out in May and June. So just when the weather warms up and you think you're going to go to the park and hang out, well, we have the valley black gnats there, and they do bite. And just like mosquitoes, it's the females that bite, and we do know why females bite. So they like to hang out in grassy areas where there's sandy loam soil, so just make sure you protect yourself, and just remember that after June, they're gone because they don't like the heat. The next thing to think about is the air quality. Well, I don't really have anything bad to say about the air quality. The air quality is actually pretty good in Davis. You get the delta breezes that come through here from the Pacific Ocean. You're only like an hour away from San Francisco, and San Francisco has one of the best cities for air quality in the state of California. So you're going to get that in Davis. And so other than like wildfire smoke, which we do get in California in the summertime, that can creep into Davis. Other than that, the air quality is pretty good here. Other thing to consider here is traffic. So the Highway 113 goes straight north from Davis up to almost Yuba City. It intersects at Highway 99. And it's very easy to travel on. You're not going to have any problems on 113 at all. It's going to be Interstate 80 going east and west. So between 7 and 9 a.m. and 5 and 6 p.m., you're going to have traffic going westbound as people are commuting to San Francisco. And during those times going eastbound, you're going to have run into commuters that are going to Sacramento for work. And on Fridays from 4 to 7 p.m., you're going to have traffic going eastbound as people are going camping or boating at Lake Tahoe, or just, going up into the mountains and spending some time outside of Davis. And then in town between 8 and 9 a.m. and 5 and 6 p.m., it's pretty hard to get across town. I mean, 5th Street has multiple stoplights that are very annoying, and it ends up turning into Russell Boulevard in the west side of town. But if you want to get across town, you're probably better off taking Colville Boulevard or getting on Interstate 80 to get across town, because it's just almost impossible to get through at that time of the day. So there you have it, about 6 things to consider prior to moving to Davis. And if those are not deal breakers for you, then Davis may be just the place for you. I told you if you stuck around to the end, I'd share with you a little hidden gem of Davis that not a lot of people know about. Well, as you know, UC Davis is a very renowned school that is right here in Davis, California. And they specialize in medicine and law and agriculture and management and veterinary science. But during the final exam season, the SPCA brings in therapy animals to help de-stress the students. And I thought that was pretty cool. And I thought you'd appreciate that little hidden gem that not a lot of people know about. So if the things I mentioned today are not deal breakers for you, then feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to show you around town.